Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be unboxing, reviewing, and installing these lights sent to me by iJa. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'm John from Fix It with Zim, your channel for all your DIY, how-to, and property management videos. Again, we're going to be looking at these lights sent to me by iJa today. This is a 4-inch recessed light kit. Real quick, check the description down below. I'm going to put links to all the products I use in today's video, including these lights. Got any questions or comments about them, post them down below, and as always, like the video. So let's get started with the unboxing. Alright, so let's see what we have here. Some instruction manuals to start. Now these are smart LED lights. You're going to control them via your smartphone or other device to select the colors and other features of the light that we'll go over shortly. Inside the box, again, 4-pack. We'll pull one of these out, see what we have. I like the packaging and the fact that they wrap everything with plastic to protect it during shipment. So here's obviously your light, slim profile. That is obviously one of the things that is most impressive about this style of light that's out on the market now. It gives you various options for install. You don't need a lot of space up above in the ceiling to fit these in. Okay, a wire harness here, so you can separate the light from the junction box during the install process. We'll have a look at the junction box first. Pretty standard here. A hinge cover to access your wiring connections, a hot, a neutral, and a ground, and they give you some wire nuts and screws inside of this. Everything seems pretty sturdy. They give you 2 knockouts, one on each side to do your wiring connections. The light itself seems a pretty good build quality. It has a little bit of weight to it, which I like. The spring clips on the sides seem pretty strong. That's important to keep this tight up against the ceiling during the install process. And again, the wire harness looks pretty good too. They have a strain relief clip on here. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with what I see so far. It looks like the trim ring has a matte finish and it has a frosted lens. All right, let's go over some of the features really quick that this product has to offer. So this is a smart device. You're going to connect to it via your phone or tablet to access everything that it has to offer. And one of those things that I think sets this apart from all the others is the fact that you have full RGB color control. So you could select any color under the sun that you might want. Red, green, yellow, orange, purple, pink, you name it, you could set it. You can also set this to all your traditional colors on the Kelvin scale, anywhere from 2700K up to 6500K. You could dim these, you could set timer controls to turn them on or off at different times of the day. You can also control this via Alexa and Google. It has something called Music Sync. So basically you give the app access to the microphone on your phone and the lights will change colors and dim to the beat of your music. One other thing I want to point out about these lights is the controls in the app. So let's say you have a room with a bunch of these installed. You can change the color, you could change the color temperature, you could dim them all individually, or you could put them all together and control them as a group. So basically dim level for the entire room, dim level for one fixture, color for one fixture, color for the entire room. Just a really cool feature with these lights. So I think that covers all the main points with these lights. Again, links will be in the description below. Check them out. Let's get started with the installation. Alright, so here's a shot of the front of the house where we're going to be installing these. Again, I'm going to be putting them up in the soffit. That is a vinyl soffit, so I'm going to cut some 4-inch holes in there with a hole saw so we can pop these things up there and give us some access to run the wire. We're going to be installing 4 of them, so I'm going to do them between all the windows. First one's going to be here, second one's going to be somewhere up in here between the shutters, another one over there, and the last one's going to be at the end. Our feed's going to come in on this side. I'm going to tie that in up in the attic later on, and we're just basically going to run Romex in between each of them to get power. I'm not going to go into too much detail about the install here of this. I do have several other videos on my channel which I'll link below if you want to check out how to install recessed lights. Pretty straightforward and easy. I'll just bring you back for some tips and tricks when I'm doing this to help you along in this project if you're doing it yourself. Alright, so first step here is going to take some measurements. Again, we're going to center the light in between the edge of the window and the edge of the house, and then just another quick measurement from front to back to center it in the opening. Now this house happens to have a vinyl soffit, which is very easy to work with. All the sections just snap together, easily removed for access to the soffit for running the wiring and installing the lights later on. I'm going to use a hole saw here to cut these out. Now this happened to be a 4¼ inch hole saw. Little tip for you here: when you're using your drill, run it in reverse. It will cut through the vinyl soffit just as good if it was running forward, and it's actually easier. The hole saw is not going to walk away from the hole that you're trying to make, and it'll also give you a lot cleaner cut. You can have much better control. Alright, so moving on down the line to the next light location, same process. Take your measurements and cut your hole. Alright, so time to run some wire here now. I'm just using a fish tape and I'm pushing that from one location down to the next. Once you have that in place, just go to the other side, tape your Romex to it, and pull it on back. So here's a little pro tip for you guys. Go out before you even start the job in the morning, get yourself a case of beer, and invite some of your buddies hoping to help you, because I'm telling you, this job would have been cut down to a fraction of the time if I had someone helping me do it. Very labor intensive moving that ladder back and forth from one side to the next. Much easier having a helper with you. The one thing I like to do is any work that I can do on the ground rather than up on the ladder, I try to get that done beforehand. Here I'm just wiring up the first junction box for our light that we're going to be installing first. So pretty basic stuff here. Just remove the knockout, install a Romex connector, tighten it in place, install your Romex, tighten that down, and make your wiring connections. Now again, this is just a basic overview of the installation of recessed lighting. If you want some further tips and pointers, I have several other videos on my channel. Check them out. I'll put links in the description below. They go into more greater detail on the installation process, the wiring, how to locate the lights in the ceiling, and so on. So definitely check those out if you want some additional help. Final step here, take your light, fold the tabs back, and snap it into place in the soffit. So now I'm going to be taking a piece of Romex, taping it to that fish line that we pushed through earlier, climbing back down the ladder, going over to the other side, and pulling it on through. Again, like I stated earlier, get a couple of your friends over to help you with this job. It's going to make the whole process so much easier. One other thing I wanted to add, if anything in this video seems foreign to you, definitely consult and hire a licensed electrician to complete the job for you. It simply is not worth the risk. And here, just completing the install of that first light. This is the light that we previously installed earlier in the video. Again, makes it a lot easier doing all this stuff on the ground when you're not hanging off a ladder. And just snap that soffit panel back up into place when you're done. Bend your aluminum fascia back into place, and we're done. Another tip here, don't be afraid to pull a couple extra sections of the soffit down to get easier access up into that area to pull the wires through. I found myself having to do this in a couple locations here when the fish tape got hung up in some areas of the soffit. It makes it a whole lot easier to get the wires pulled into place. Hopefully you guys get the idea of the install process now. Let's fast forward to the last light. Alright guys, we're coming down home stretch here. I got the first three or the last three, depending on how you want to look at this, installed. This last one here, like I said earlier in the video, is going to be the feed in to all the lights. So I got my one line that goes down to the next one, and then the other one I'm going to have to push up into the attic through the soffit. Alright guys, so up we go, so I can show you what exactly I did here. Alright, so there's a spool of Romex here on the lower roof. Here's our feed. This one right here is our feed down the soffit to the next light, and that spool I got pushed up into the attic now through the soffit. I'll pull this back a little and show you what I did. I got a fiberglass rod that I taped the wire to. I don't know, it's about 6 or 8 feet long, and I pushed that up through this insulation along this roof rafter, basically as far as I can. And I should be able to go up in the attic now and see where that is. Now, one thing I did notice when doing this, and some of you guys that know what you're looking at will probably pick this out real quick. Look at the way these guys did this insulation when they built the house. They packed it right into the soffit. They didn't leave any room for airflow, you know, through the vents here in the soffit. So if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, and that's kind of off topic, but I'm up here, I figured I'd show you. This is designed to let air up into the attic, up to the ridge. You always want to have good airflow up in the attic. That's what prevents moisture buildup. And that is not a good thing. I'm going to have to address that. But anyway, that's a topic for a video on another day. Let's get these lights done. All right, now here's my dilemma up here. And of course it can't be in this part of the attic where there's nothing. That line that I just pushed up here is on the other side of all these boxes. So I'm gonna have to move all this garbage. I call it garbage. Don't ever tell my wife I said that, but that's exactly what all this stuff is. Aside from maybe the luggage, because that's always good to go on vacation with, but everything else. So back down in that hole down there is where that line's coming up. So let me go move all this stuff quick. All right guys, sorry for the poor lighting. So I pushed all this stuff aside, made myself a little passageway here, and look what I found right here. There's our fiberglass rod that we pushed up through the soffit, so that's good. What I'm going to do is just run this underneath all this stuff up here. I'm not going to go too nuts. It could stay right here on top of the insulation. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it underneath this plywood and bring it out over here with these other ones that are running across the attic. And I think I decided I'm going to tie it in right here to this box. So we got... this is the switch for the attic lights. Alright, so it's up there. There's an outlet here in case you're ever doing work up here on the air conditioning. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring another line out of this, tie it in, mount another box, and I'll probably put a smart switch up here. So let me go finish the light outside. I'll get this line pulled over here. I'll tie it all in. I'll just bring it back when I'm done. To show you the finished product, and we'll demo the lights after that. Okay, I got all the wiring and connections done up in the attic. I turned the circuit back on. Let's give these lights a try. Alright guys, so it's like 5 below zero out here right now. Since I am committed to making quality content for everyone, I'm going to work my way through it. So let's do this quick. So lights are all off right now. Here is our app, upper left hand corner here. Going to open that up. Here's the page that opens up with that. You can see 4 tabs. That's the 4 lights that we installed. Across the top here, I programmed in some presets. Let's go ahead and hit one of these and get the lights turned on. And there you have it. Look how awesome that looks. I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but we were in complete darkness a couple seconds ago, and these 4 lights completely lit up the whole front of my yard here. And obviously the front of the house as well. So let me show you a couple other things with the app here. So again, I mentioned I programmed some presets in. Here's another one I have. So that one basically dims them down a little bit. It also changes the color temperature. Here's the one we previously had on. So I think this is the coolest color temperature the lights can be set at, and it's also at 100% brightness. Here's another one. I think that one was a 75% dim, and it also alters the color a little bit, making it a bit warmer. Then I got another one on here, and that dims them down even more, and I believe that is around 4500K. You can program in any type of presets you want. It's real easy to do. Basically how you do that, you come down here on the bottom, brings up all the smart controls for the system. You hit this plus sign, launch tap to run, and this is where you could do all your settings. So you pick what light you want, you could turn it on or off, you could set the mode, the brightness, the color temperature, you could put it on a timer, a whole bunch of things you could do here. Now, one other cool thing obviously I mentioned throughout the video is that you could set these to any particular color you want, and if you call up each individual light, you can hit color, and you could change each one individually. So right now we're in the middle of December, and I got all these lights set for a Christmas theme, red and green. Take a peek at that. I'll do it again without the phone in front of the camera so you can get a better idea of what they look like. So again, let's bring these all back up to full brightness. All right, and I'll bring that screen back up with all the individual lights, and I'll change the colors on all of them. Alright, so that's just a small sample size of what these lights are capable of doing. Alright, so again, we could set any color we want with these things. That's what makes them so cool. You don't see that feature on a lot of lights. All the smart ones that I've seen, all you're really able to do is just dial in a particular color warmth on the Kelvin scale with them. These you can do anything you want. You know, pretty cool stuff, right? Alright guys, well I hope you found this video informative. Again, check the links in the description below. It's going to have everything that I used in today's video, including these lights. Check them out, they're awesome, I highly recommend them. Like the video, got any questions or comments, post them down below, and I'll see you on the next one.